This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
All right! Yeah! It's here, baby. Here we go. Welcome in. We're live in downtown Las Vegas. You know the drill. From Circa Resort and Casino, we are loaded to the gills here on a football Friday, and we're feeling good, man. We'll talk LSU Clemson. Preston Guy coming up in 30 minutes. He has the pulse. He's all over that game. Chuck Edel, the reigning, the defending Circa Friday Night Football Invitation champ. 77-44-3 last year. On the program in 1 hour, Chip Brown knows Texas football inside and out. We'll hit that game against Ohio State. And R.J. Choppy on the fallout of the Micah, or is it Michael Parsons trade to the Green Bay Packers.
Tough. I know you're excited. Maximum Metallica, Sirius XM Channel 42. What took so long? Let's go. Awesome. Started this morning at 9 a.m. Pacific. Oh, doctor.
Should have been on Sirius XM 20 years ago.
No kidding.
I was in Seattle a year ago tonight watching them perform. Harvester of Sorrow, Blackened, Orion, Leper Messiah.
What a set list. All time.
Very good.
For you. Good for you, buddy.
So we're ready. The action really started last night with week one. And now what do we do, Paulie, with Boise? I don't want to overreact. Are they out of the playoffs? I'm not saying they are. I'm asking the question. Assuming that they get handled at Notre Dame later on this season.
Yeah, 11-1 isn't enough.
I would need a little bit more than 11-1.
It's one thing to lose to South Florida, but everyone watched and they got embarrassed and destroyed. So it was pathetic offensively to get blown out like that. And we'll see. Maybe South Florida's not even that good. I don't know. That's the other thing that's out of their hands. But now there's no margin for error, as we said yesterday.
Sure.
Because you're going to lose to Notre Dame, and now you're going to have to run the table. And that is going to be best case 10-2 with that loss on your resume. And there's not going to be a good win with the way the Mountain West is off to the start that they get off to. So I did the same thing Mike did, Montesano. I took James Madison 10-1 because I'm not there with Tulane. I'm not buying the hype, and they were the second choice from the little guy to get in. So I took some 10-1 James Madison, but the door's open now. For someone other than Boise, was plus 180 as they got throttled. I just couldn't believe how bad it looked. Then they played a good first half. But then the fumble while they're driving.
Oh, you got to clean
beautiful
it up,
execution. The balls of a burglar to call that fake punt. And the kid makes the beautiful throw. That's not like a 5-yard pass. That's like a 30 or 40-yard pass.
Right.
But then they're getting blown out and they can't even move the ball in garbage time. And even the star tight end Louder can't go over his receiving yards.
Yeah, it's like they weren't ready for the game last night, not ready for the season. They were so sloppy with the football. They killed themselves when we were on the air during the game yesterday. They kept killing themselves when we were off the air. It was just one of those snowball things where it kept rolling downhill and getting bigger and bigger, and that was it. I mean, they couldn't catch up after they fell behind. And I'll flip it, though. What if South Florida is good? And we'll find out in their next couple of games just how good they might be.
Yep. Get back to me in 2 weeks because it's Florida and Miami.
Yeah.
That would certainly help them, but it's going to be a weak case, no doubt. I don't know. Is Genty worth 10 points?
That's what I was going to say. I mean,
it's a completely different offense and team. They go week one. They roll into Georgia Southern. 6-7 touchdowns, 60-plus points, and the guy has an historic season. So, I mean, the running game wasn't there. The passing game was atrocious. Matson, is a veteran. And they just couldn't get anything. They didn't hit Louder till like third quarter of the game.
Right. And so the running backs, we talked about that quite a bit during the week. Like overall, like what is Genty worth? It's tough to gauge because typically, running backs are not going to be worth much to the number. But he was a historical running back. And then this is also Boise State we're talking about. This is not like Alabama where you're going to go from Mark Ingram to Derrick Henry and then to like Trenton Richardson and whatever the timeline was there. It's just one right after another, 5-star kid after 5-star kid. So he was going to be difficult to replace. But how much overall? I mean, if you compare just one game, that last night against South Florida, to pretty much any of their games last year, totally different team.
Yep.
Completely different team.
I have a positive. The defense looks to be good.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, they gave up the special teams touchdown. Then while we were on the air, they had a ridiculous penalty that led to a South Florida touchdown. They were going to get the ball near midfield. And then there's the defense is on the field too long because of what the offense failed to do. So, bad start, and I think a bad start by the Big Ten. Nebraska won, but come on. Cincinnati's got 33 yards passing in the fourth quarter, and you can't put them away?
Paul, that decision at the end of the game was horrific.
Yeah.
Come on, you're going to at least tie the game or have a shot to tie the game with a field goal and then send it to overtime. You didn't have to force it like that. That was a really bad decision by the Cincinnati quarterback.
Yeah, well, good for Nebraska. They finally won a close game.
Yeah, but the other games.
Yeah.
Whew, did you watch the Minnesota and the Wisconsin game like I did? No, I think Buffalo's good.
But I was going to say that. Buffalo's got a good defense. Buffalo might have a good team. And that was a beautiful drive by Minnesota to salt it away, but Buffalo gets the money.
Wow.
And the Wisconsin game was an in-play dream. Just an in-play dream. Number one, the backup looks to be better than the starting quarterback. The other thing is Fickle won't embrace let's run the ball and play old school Wisconsin football. So they could have been there all night. I don't think Miami was scoring. But how bad Wisconsin was offensively and to be up 3-0 in the third quarter. What are they doing? 4th and goal. 4th and 3 from the 6, he goes for it. And the kid throws an interception.
Well, there was question. I think they had a 3rd and 2, like inside Miami territory last night, and they called like a play action pass that the guy was dead for like a 20-yard loss. Like you're putting the backup quarterback, by the way, in a terrible spot there when you only need to pick up a couple of yards for a first down, and you're going to drop him back in a rollout almost like 12, 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage. They play Alabama in the non-con this year. Alabama has, it depends on where you look. I was looking at some Pro Football Focus numbers today. They have Alabama rated as the number 1 defense going into the country. And last year when Bama went to Wisconsin, that game changed after the quarterback for Wisconsin got hurt, but Alabama eventually put it on them. Like, is Wisconsin going to be able to do anything offensively when they play Alabama? Yep. Probably not.
Yep.
And I'm looking at, I'll throw out a couple of other teams maybe and you know what, maybe Boise plus 11-20 is a little bit of an overreaction from where they were, because what if they do clean it up and go to South Bend and give Notre Dame a game? I'm just throwing out some what ifs here. I think, what about Memphis plus 980 at FanDuel to make the playoff? Their schedule is like super weak, down in the 100s the way it looks, and there's 136 D1 teams. And they play Arkansas at home. That's going to be that's on September 20th. And Arkansas, like, they're not an amazing football team, obviously, but it's an SEC team. And if Memphis can handle them and beat them in that game when they're at home, and if they go like 11-1 this year, and they do get Tulane at home on November 7th, they also play Navy. The day after Thanksgiving on November 27th. There's a shot here where I think Memphis at plus 980 at FanDuel would be worth a bet.
Yep. All right, well, doors open. Take your shots.
Do you think can a team from the MAC make it? Could Toledo be, like, if they're really good, as good as people think?
They got to be undefeated.
Yeah.
Because Kentucky might win 3 or 4 games. Let's be Kentucky first.
What do you think about Liberty?
It's got that. No way.
No, I don't think so either.
You know, the other thing, too, these moves were a disaster. UCF was right. Bulls, USF, excuse me. UCF was way. They were lucky to win the game. 0-0 at halftime.
They got me.
Rutgers. How about that? Rutgers had 31 points with 3 minutes left in the second quarter. They scored 3 points the rest of the game. What was that? Akron, 9.5 to 4.5. Shutout, 10-0.
Well, Wyoming was pretty fortunate to cover that game with a late touchdown, but I mean,
Oklahoma.
By the way, file that away. Wyoming's not very good. Akron is just going to be a dumpster fire, probably.
UAB 17.5 up to 21, lucky to win the game. Oklahoma State 19.5 up to 27. Duke 33.5 up to 37. NC State, East Carolina over 56.5 up to 62. No, that's another one. 17-0 NC State mid-second quarter. They got to get a 4th down stop to win the game, and they stopped offensively. Sure. And what was a horrible decision by East Carolina to throw the ball short of the sticks on 4th and 1. Come on. But, good night, bad night for the Big Ten, at least ATS. And it continues tonight. And that's a big game in Baylor. And the favorite is flipped in that game.
How about that?
At least at DraftKings, yes.
Well, based on my Twitter timeline, every single human being in the world is on Baylor tonight.
Yeah.
That could be a scary proposition. But it appears that way here, by the way, with Texas, too, tomorrow. and you're going to hear
That's
Derek
right.
Stevens explain that coming up a little bit later on in the show. They took a $550,000 bet first game of the week 1, 550, bang, right in your eyeball on Texas. And so then they moved Texas to the 1-point favorite, obviously, and then it's been going kind of back and forth. And I did notice right before the show started that they were not at 1. I think they were at pick, but at least 1 or 2 other books had Texas as the favorite in that game. Do you want to hop in on Ohio State?
That's a tough game. I think maybe the under's the way to go, but this is great from VSiN.com. The last time a quarterback making his first start beat the top team in the country, I think it was Jim Harbaugh. Go back in the 80s, mid 80s. It's 18 straight losses.
18 straight.
But this doesn't happen though either. The defending champs taking on the number 1 team in the country too.
Yep.
That hasn't happened since 1988. So I could just see. I still think it's going to come down to what Macero said. I still think I have zero confidence in Matt Patricia, and then you also lose Chip Kelly.
Sure.
So I think those coordinators really helped out Day last year, and also the fact that maybe you get off to a slow start. The lights are too bright for at least the Saiyan, and Arch will be okay, but because they got a great defense.
I mean, Paul, it's like almost like a universal thought here that Jim Knowles is a top 5 defensive coordinator in the country.
Yeah, big loss.
And he bails, takes a big payday from Penn State. Don't blame him at all.
Yeah, that's why I like Clemson. I think getting Tom Allen's huge.
Yeah, it could be.
And the issues with Louisiana, with the LSU, with the offensive line, with our guest I think we'll talk about coming up.
Yeah, good point. Up next, we will start to dive into tonight's games on the card. What does home field advantage mean early in the season? 62.5% in this spot over the last decade plus. We will give you the details next here on VSiN.
Stay ahead of the game? Look no further than VSiN's YouTube page. Find expert analysis, game previews, and best bets from all of our shows. No matter what sport you're looking to bet on, follow @VSiN Live on YouTube for everything you need.
So, Paulie, have you had a chance to read the VSiN Daily yet?
Yeah, came in at 3 a.m. What's Bill doing up that late?
Well, rumor has it, it starts off with a 12-hour meditation session.
Then he just pours himself over film and live TV, really focusing and taking it all in. Bill's in with the biggest insiders, talking trade secrets, strategies, the whole nine, absorbing the info.
And then and only then can the writing process begin.
In Las Vegas, Bill's late night becomes your early morning. Wake up to the very latest betting insights in your inbox with the VSiN Daily. Sign up for free at vsin.com/newsletter.
On the next A Numbers Game, football is finally here. Ed Fang joins us from the Power Rank to discuss some season-long under thoughts. Adam Burke on his football thoughts, pro college, and maybe some baseball as well. Paul Sporer from Fangraphs talking Major League Baseball with us. About 25 games left in the season, and Wes Reynolds as always hops on to discuss everything golf and beyond. It's A Numbers Game, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific, right here at VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
All right, let's get into the games that we have coming up tonight. I know, Paulie, that you're involved in this game between Auburn and Baylor. At some spots right now, the Tigers are favored by a point still, or a point and a half. You're seeing, what, DK with Baylor at -1 right now?
Half.
-0.5.
Yep.
All right, open 2.5 here for the road team. They're playing in Waco tonight against the Baylor Bears, and the Tigers have 65% of their production back. Baylor, 70 overall from last year, Paulie. That is 9th in the country. And doing deep dives in this game and all the other games that we have for tonight and this weekend, the Tigers have some of the best wide receivers in the entire country. Pro Football Focus also grades, they grade their receivers as second best overall. They think they have an elite offensive line. And then, of course, the big news would be, what do you think Oklahoma transfer quarterback Jackson Arnold is going to do this year?
There you go.
With
Not
those
much.
Receivers.
Not much. I don't like them at all. You know, that's where I give Baylor the edge. Baylor closed on a 6-game winning streak last year. Robertson had 3,000 yards, 28 touchdowns. They were 5-1 ATS at home. Hugh Freeze is 5-7 and 6-7 so far. I don't understand why Auburn was favored. I don't like the quarterback, and I think Baylor can move the ball on him. And I'm with my guy Phil Steele that Baylor can win the Big 12. And again, we're going to find out a lot about them tonight. Next week, they are 3.5-point underdogs at SMU. I think Baylor beats them, and I don't understand the respect here for Auburn, and I don't like the quarterback, and I don't like a lot of what they did last year, so I'll take that's a big deal when they play at home. Huge deal.
I got some numbers on that coming up in a minute.
Yeah, on a Friday night here.
Yeah, right.
Everyone watching, I think Baylor will be ready to go.
I will point this out, something to pay attention to tonight with Sawyer Robertson, Baylor quarterback. Very good against teams with poor pass defenses a year ago, but when he played against defenses ranked in the top 50, he had 11 turnover-worthy plays. He struggled against the blitz, and that showed in losses to Colorado, Iowa State, LSU among them. He was also bad against man coverage, and this is what you want to pay attention to tonight. Auburn had the second highest rate of man in the SEC last year, and they blitzed 40% of the time. So that is what you're going to see a lot of that probably in the game tonight, and that is something where Robertson struggled last year. Here is the betting angle or betting system that you can find at vsin.com per our very own Steve Makinen. To your point, Paulie, week 0 and week 1, home field advantage. It means a lot in early season games between unfamiliar Power 4 non-conference foes. Hosts in these matchups are 28-16 straight up, 25-15-4 ATS. Round that up to 63% over the last decade plus. So, in this angle here, if you believe like in historical numbers or trends, this has been something that you'd want to circle here with Baylor. The Ja Tech Colorado game. Ja Tech opened up 3.5.
Why isn't it moved? Colorado lost their top 4 pass catchers. You lose Hunter. You lose Sanders. Salter's good. He transfers in at quarterback. Remember, they got off to a slow start last year. They almost lost to North Dakota State. And then were blasted by Nebraska. Brad Powers said put pizza money on Ja Tech to win the ACC. Powers loves Georgia Tech here. I think they win and cover, and I don't mind King rushing yards over as well. Remember how they started last year? Shocked the world.
That's right.
After taking out Florida State. So I think Georgia Tech wins and covers tonight too. And I think you're talking about only 3 guys back on offense for Colorado. I think Georgia Tech much the best here. Too good for them.
So it did get to 4.5 earlier in the week at some spots. Now back to 3.5. You're right. King is a really good quarterback. Also pay attention to Jamal Haynes, one of the best backs in the country. Now, they ran the most combined read option and speed option plays in the country per PFF. And Colorado had a grade there at Pro Football Focus of 86.1 against the read or the speed option last year. That tied South Carolina and Ohio State for 10th best in the country. And it was the 17th lowest EPA per rush against them in those spots. However, when teams ran the ball 35-plus times against Colorado last year, they were 4-4 straight up. Ja Tech averaged almost 37 rushes per game last year, and they won 5 of 7 games when they had at least 35 attempts on the ground. So Colorado did have a good rush defense, and I think the defense is actually going to be the strength of the team to begin the year again for the Buffaloes. But that's going to be like almost a war of attrition where eventually the dam might break. If Georgia Tech just keeps running the football, it's going to be King, it's going to be Haynes, other running backs. They want to wear on Colorado's defense, grind them down, and then take advantage of that probably late in the game. Salter had 66 explosive runs for Liberty since 2023, tied for the most among every quarterback in the country, but he's not accurate. 122nd in adjusted completion percentage rate in 2024. Georgia Tech ranked in the 100s in pass defense last year per Pro Football Focus's grades, and they lost 3 of their 4 best players at forcing pressure on the quarterback. I think you're going to see a lot of skedaddling tonight from Salter in this game.
Okay. That could be a good prop, too. How about the move in this App State game? Side and total. This open App State 8.5. It's 3 everywhere except Circa. It's even money. 3 everywhere, right? And the total 53.5 down to 48.5. Bank of America Stadium, App State and Charlotte. Oh,
that is the Boise game all over again, and the Akron Wyoming game all over again from last night.
Yeah, big one there, side and total.
Do you have any opinion on the game? Did you bet it at all?
I would go against the move after what happened, what we've seen with NFL preseason, and also what we saw early in the college football season.
Yeah, they have not been great.
Because as bad as Stanford looked, they deserved a better fate than losing by 3.
Agreed.
So that was nothing but Hawaii money as well, which was fortunate to get there. And apparently Michigan State just going to get whatever they want against Western Michigan.
That's the way it seems.
Western Michigan, lousy defense, 17.5 up to 22 with Sparty tonight.
Oh, right through the key number of 21. All the way to 21.5 and 22 at some spots. And the total, by the way, is 49.5 in that game.
Well, what does Western Michigan get offensively? Hey, I got to give it to them, though. They hung in there. That Miami hung in there.
Yeah, true. Oh, absolutely they did.
They weren't going to score, but the defense played hard.
Yeah.
And Buffalo played a good game. So, and Ohio looked awesome. That Parker Navarro, the quarterback,
very good.
They did whatever they wanted offensively. Remember, Rutgers had a blocked punt there, too. So they had a good showing last night, the MAC.
Ohio is a team I wanted to run by you about making the playoff. But again, that's a MAC team, and they have a loss now in the schedule, and plus they get Ohio State a little bit later on.
Well, that's my takeaway is fade Rutgers here. That defense was awful.
Oh, they were terrible last night.
Ohio's gashing them on every play.
Right.
Terrible job.
Do you want to do anything with the UNLV Sam Houston State game?
No, because I go back to the old Lou Holtz line. You never get the same team week 1, game 1 to game 2. So I want to see now what Mullen does is cleaning up the mistakes. Maybe the defense is just that bad and they lost too many guys. Could be. Certainly that was a disappointing and embarrassing performance. But
there's also this
see
too.
If they can slow down Sam Houston. Maybe it's just Western Kentucky also can't stop anything. And Sam Houston will have issues tonight against UNLV.
Yeah, maybe that's the angle, right? And by the way, like if you're going to get involved right now on Sam Houston State, to me, it's too late. It's opened up 13.5, and it was sitting there at even 10.5 for at least a day or so this week. And if you didn't, and if it lands 10 and you grab 9.5, that's not a good feeling at all.
Well, here's what I like to do, and I love to watch games like that Wisconsin game last night was an in-play dream. Just bet the under every commercial break.
I think the Minnesota-Buffalo game was too.
Okay, so I like what Mike Montesano said about be careful here, it's early. You don't have to go crazy. And I like what Brad Powers said. It's okay just to watch, evaluate, get data points, and then make your assessment and go from there. So whether you want to get involved in play or just sit back and relax for the first week, I think those are all good points and stuff you could do tonight. You could definitely get involved here on tell me, if you don't, okay, I don't want to take 9.5 because it was 13.5. Well, what if Sam Houston goes up and down the field in the first quarter? You can get involved in play and just say that I've seen enough. That's how it's going to be. And I saw that in the third quarter. It was too bad we were on the air the first half, but it was just like Boise is not winning this game. And they're not going to score against South Florida here. Once you got into the third quarter, it was just a runaway trade. It was just USF and under every commercial break.
I would say this, but if you really like something, though, I would still bet it. Like last night, on the show yesterday, we talked about the Missouri Central Arkansas game a couple times. I had that game dead to rights.
You nailed that. Yeah, you nailed that.
And I didn't have a single penny on it.
Yeah.
So I hate myself for not making that bet last night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But on the game tomorrow, the marquee game to kick everything off is Texas-Ohio State. unless Texas keeps going up here as the favorite, I don't know if I'm going to be involved at all in the game. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to have it just because it's one of the biggest games of the entire year.
Yeah, I mean, of course. You got a team that's won, 25 in a row to open the season? The defending champs, all this talent? But then it's got preseason number 1 in Arch, so you can make a case for both sides here, just like the Notre Dame-Miami game.
Totally agree.
NFL Betting Guide updated and ready for Week 1. Inside the NFL Betting Guide 2.0, post-preseason team updates, proven betting systems, contest strategies, best bets from the opening week and beyond, $9.99 for your first 30 days. VSiN.com/subscribe and find out which subscription works best for you. VSiN.com/subscribe.
Preston Guy, TigerBait.com. Next, Clemson LSU. What can we expect from Brian Kelly's team this weekend?
There's no better time to join VSiN Pro. Right now, get started for just $9.99 for your first 30 days or save 50% off with an annual subscription. As a Pro user, you'll get our newly updated NFL Betting Guide as well as the College Football Betting Guide, the ultimate playbook packed with expert picks, team previews, and best bets. Plus, you'll unlock exclusive features like real-time betting splits, daily best bets, and full access to the VSiN Watch app. Don't miss out. Head to VSiN.com/subscribe and join us on the Sports Betting Network. Get your edge this season with VSiN's College Football Betting Guide, exclusive to VSiN Pro subscribers. It's packed with 136 team previews, preseason top 25 rankings, and best bets from our experts. Pro subscribers also get the NFL Betting Guide, daily best bet emails, exclusive splits, and full access to our premium betting tools. Sign up now at VSiN.com/subscribe for just $9.99 for your first 30 days. Or save 50% with an annual Pro subscription and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Welcome back. It is Follow the Money here on VSiN on a Football Friday. We're live in Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino over the weekend. Coming up tomorrow night, one of the marquee games of the entire Week 1 schedule is LSU playing at Clemson. And the home team here, the Tigers of Clemson, favored by 4. Total is 57.5. And we head out here to the Progressive guest line as Preston Guy joins the program now, tigerbait.com. You can follow him on X at pguy77. Preston, good afternoon. Thanks for the time today. How are you?
Guys, thanks for having me today. I appreciate it.
You bet. Let's start here with the offensive line and the concerns that LSU might have going into this game and into the season. They lost 4 of their 5 starters with that unit, and it was really good last year. DJ Chester is back. PFF ranked him the 7th lowest graded center in the Power 4 last year. Of course, they got guys in the portal, but overall, what is your level of concern going into the game, especially when you consider Clemson might have the best D-line in the country?
It's the highest, and I think it's a very poor matchup Week 1, and you have no time to get your stride in. I've got red alert. That is red flags all over the place. You've got your left guard and your right tackle. You haven't 100% figured out who your guy's even going to be. You're talking about rotating in possibly a true freshman, Carius Kern, who's shown some discipline issues in camp. I've seen him called for holding and false start a few times, but he is very, very, very strong, and he was a 5-star player. So, it is a high concern. It's the highest concern on the team, and I think there's a wide margin between the next one. That being said, there's some hope there. They really like what they've got. Tyree Adams at left tackle. Weston Davis was a guy who even had some 5-star designations out of high school at right tackle there. And, of course, you brought in 2 highly coveted portal guys in Josh Thompson, who will be your right guard, and Braylon Moore, your center, who's going to replace DJ Chester, who was that low-rated center. So DJ Chester, who was a starter last year, very likely may not start this year.
Wow, okay. So safe to say, overall, again, and they had an amazing transfer portal, probably the best in the entire country on paper anyway. But the O-line, I'm guessing, is absolutely the weakest link here of the team. And is it the only weak link that the team has?
Here's the deal. Yes is the answer to that question. Now, on paper versus on field, we've all watched enough ball to know those are 2 very different things.
Sure.
However, the offensive line is the biggest concern, and I think your wide receiver core is going to be upgraded. Caden Durham's back at running back, and he won't be a true freshman finding his groove anymore. He's now a seasoned veteran in the game. He'll be really good. Nussmeier comes back with a year under his belt. Okay, an 11 for 11 on defense will be improved. That's my opinion. Even with Halsey suspended in the first half, your 11 will be better than your 11 last year. So, yeah, it should be a better team. That's not to say every position group will be good enough to get, to win a national championship or anything like that. But I think they look good at every group except offensive line, in my opinion.
We've seen it 100 times. The post-game press conference where Kelly loses to USC and he's slamming the table. He's a great coach. Why does he get off to the slow starts here? Can you explain what happens Week 1?
Yeah, and it started before him. In fact, LSU lost the last 2 openers under Ogeron as well. So let me tell you, the itch here to get a win Week 1, it's almost starting to feel like, remember when LSU lost 8 straight to Bama? It's starting to feel a little bit like that, although it's kind of odd because it's different teams, but you're still losing that same spot over and over. And every year people say, well, this has to be the year, right? This has to be and it just seems like, no, you lost to USC last year, and here we go. Now it's 5 straight you've dropped. I don't know why Brian Kelly's teams have been unprepared the last 4 years, and that extends back to his final year at Notre Dame. Granted, before that, his teams looked really good at Notre Dame for 11 years or whatever it was. But, the last 4 teams he's put together have looked atrocious, awful. Very disorganized.
Yes.
Beaten bad. I mean, I don't understand how his teams in the openers have just been collective. Now, you got to pass that first year. that Florida State missed extra point 2022, you get a pass for that because you inherited a team with 39 scholarship players. You had to put together a team from the portal as best as you could, and you had to put together a coaching staff. Nobody coached together, nobody played together. That one I understand. The others are a little mysterious. So until Brian Kelly proves me wrong, I'm going to doubt him in openers.
All right, good answer. Follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. We're talking LSU and Clemson with Preston Guy, TigerBait.com. Follow him on X at PGuy77. If he loses this game tomorrow night, they get Florida in a couple of weeks. They play at Ole Miss end of the month. They get South Carolina after the bye. If they're struggling and they have 2-3 losses, even before the Alabama game, how hot is this seat for Brian Kelly?
Well, among the fans, it'll be toasty for sure. I mean, scorching. However, he has a buyout that as of December 31st, he would be owed $57 million. And I don't know that LSU necessarily has that kind of money. So I don't know that there's a record that LSU would fire him at.
All right. So overall, but you think the defense is upgraded pretty much everywhere from a year ago?
Correct. And I think a lot of them have been substantial upgrades.
Okay. I'm looking at some metrics from the Clemson offense a year ago. Cade Klubnik obviously put together a hell of a season, and he was elite with passes 10-plus yards down the field. One of, if not the best quarterbacks in the entire game. And they have really good receivers, too, obviously, with Clemson. Do you think the LSU secondary and the coaching staff here, they have what it takes to neutralize the aerial assault here that they might see from Cade Klubnik and company?
Yeah, it's one of the things where I just look at this Clemson matchup with LSU, and it stinks. Clemson might not be that much of a better team or even a better team than LSU, but of the defense, the units that I have the least confident in, it's the secondary. And now you add A.J. Halsey, who looks like your best safety throughout fall camp. He won't be playing for half that game. So the fact that Cade Klubnik is arguably the best quarterback in the country, and they've got talented receivers too, by the way. Don't sleep on these receivers, man. Antonio Williams, Wesco, those are good players. So on both sides of the ball, it's like Clemson's strength meets LSU's weakness. Their D-line is nasty, and LSU's O-line is a weakness. And if I had to pick a weakness in the defense, it'd be the secondary. And look at Clemson's passing attack. So it's just one of those things, Matt. This matchup scares me for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, Preston, too. We're also 7 minutes into this conversation, and we haven't even mentioned the name Garrett Nussmeier, and that might be completely unfair. I'm a big fan. I mean, some people project him as like a top 5, top 10 pick next year in the draft. They could be way off. You never know how that stuff's going to shake out. But what is he looking at for an overall matchup? We talked about the offensive line, but he was also really good against pressure last year.
Yeah, he was. So here's the deal. You got to keep him upright. And you were, as bad as LSU was in run blocking last year, those 4 guys got drafted for a reason. Okay? I mean, they were elite pass blockers. So if you can keep Garrett Nussmeier off and keep him from having to improvise, where he had to improvise a little too much last year and threw 12 interceptions for a reason, you got to cut that back. You cannot implode like you did against Texas A&M. That being said, I think Nussmeier is as good as any quarterback in the country when he's not being turnover prone. And I think that, let me tell you something else, by the way. If Nussmeier gets hurt or can't play this year, this will be a rough season for LSU because although Michael Van Buren looks like a great backup on paper, we haven't seen it at practice. It's been a lot of ducks and dimes.
Oh, boy. Okay.
He'll throw a dime, and then he follows that with completely failing receiver. I don't think either of those backups are ready to take over if Nussmeier gets hurt. So LSU will go as far as Garrett Nussmeier's right arm will take them. Look, at LSU, there's a strong history of that fifth-year senior jump up. We saw it with Mettenberger, and then to a greater extent, we saw it with Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels, where they went from good or even average quarterbacks to Heisman winners. So there's a bit of an expectation that Nussmeier who was better his junior year than all 3 of those guys were in their junior year, there is an expectation that he will step up and be a great quarterback this year.
That's a great note. And by the way, Preston, we have about a minute left here. It looks like as we're speaking here, it looks like money is coming in on Clemson at several sports books now across the country. It looks like the home team here is up to a 4.5-point favorite. If you had to bet the game, if you were allowed to bet the game, which side would you take?
I'm not big on gambling, but I would take it's 4.5. I would take Clemson 4.5.
You'd lay it. Oh, okay, 4.5. All right. Yeah,
I would give Clemson 4 because I think they win by like a touchdown, maybe even like, okay, last minute drive, a turnover happens and they extend it. I would take Clemson by a touchdown. Yeah.
Okay, totally fair. You think it's a nightmare matchup here for LSU. Great stuff. You can follow Preston on X. He's at PGuy77 and does a great job covering the team for TigerBait.com. Pleasure, Preston. Thank you. Enjoy the game.
All right, guys. You have a nice day.
Thank you.
Go. See, I find that refreshing when you bring on a local person, right? The team that they cover, and he's like, nah, I don't like it. 98% of them are homers.
I know. Well, but also all the talk back there is how bad the offensive line looks.
Yeah.
So this is not an ideal situation when the coach says we're going to rotate 8 offensive linemen.
Certainly not. Win-lose up next. Paul will recap a lot of the moves and the landing spots from last night's action, and the best record in the American League since late July will stun you.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim. It's the only thing like it in the world.
Check out Stormy and JVT on Money Moves, only on VSiN.
And maybe that's why they wouldn't, because they're the Giants and they don't do things that make sense.
Out of all these divisions, this is the one that I am the most curious about because I do think there are positive signs for the Bears.
They'll take you on a fun, fast-paced journey, weaving in everything you need to know to make an educated bet, while also not shying away from the excitement of a same-game parlay sweat. Money Moves, weekdays at 2 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
WNBA. The Storm plus 330 on the money line. They were down 21 in Minnesota and beat the Lynx.
Killed them.
60 points in the second half. Yeah, won by double digits. Absolutely. What a turnaround that was in the second half. Most runs, Phillies 8-1. Highest scoring game, Phillies Braves, also 8-1. Will there be 22 plus runs scored in a game? Yes, plus 650, and a team to score 15 plus runs cashes again as Schwarber hits 4 bombs. Remember that prop was 10-1 before the season? 21st time. There's been 21 4-home run games, 25 perfect games. And for the third time this year, someone hits 4 in a game.
Can he do this, by the way?
He's down to 5-1 because Ohtani's in a slump offensive.
That's right. Now
down to 1,000.
Will the pitching trump everything here for Ohtani? He had 9 Ks his last start.
Yeah, Ohtani's going to win it.
You think so?
Yeah.
Overall, I think you can absolutely argue. People can go to war and say Mitch Ohtani's having a better year with the war, but like the mainstream numbers, I can sit there and tell you that Schwarber's having just as good of a season, maybe better.
Well, I wonder if athletic build would come into play with this at all. How the guy looks, right? Don't you think?
You mean like award voters who are...
Well, I mean, Ohtani can do everything, though. Mm-hmm. Swipe a bag, hit it in the gap.
Schwarber has only 3 fewer stolen bases. So you can't get me on that with Ohtani.
Yeah?
Yeah, how about that?
Fella. He was like 10-1 to swipe a bag. Yeah, deceptive. USF plus 9.5 down to 4.5. Ice cream. Never in doubt against Boise. Ohio, Rutgers over. 47.5 up to 52.5. That was a rocking chair winner. Subscribe, be part of the team. VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. Thanks to all the people who've reached out over the last couple of days. I saw my request. Got right back to you. Thank you for all the new friends and the old friends as well who send it in. Mitch, I told you I had a good one today. Dan Goodwin sent this in. This is at Harrah's, Hoosiers Park. Super double times, 10 play, dollars, which I think is 60 a push. In any event, 10 play, dealt aces and a kicker 5 times. That's $100,000. Hello, and there's the check. I would say straight cash homie, but there it is. Unbelievable. Dealt, spins. I mean, this guy, see, I want to know when it spins. Is it dealt and then it spins? Does it come ace, 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 and then it spins? Because imagine it's dealt, you hold it, and then it's like, oh, it's spinning. What if I get a 10 times here, right? Like our friend we met who won $40,000 on dimes. He got dealt the Royal, and then it locks up, goes 10, locks up, goes 10 again. Right. He got it 20 times.
By the way, the big check is only for show.
Yeah, I get
presentation,
sure.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you ding, by the way, on that for taxes? Is it like 24, 25% in that neighborhood?
I don't know. Sounds about right. You can take it out. You can have them take it out right there.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Nice hit, my friend. That's incredible. Look at this. How about the Cubs playing in the kiddie pool? Everybody in. You know, it's hot out there for everyone. Yeah, this is a good one. So it's just one guy, right? And then his friends jump in. And they're going at it. A couple of them, sure. Imagine you look out your back door and you see this. And they're just hanging out. There they go. There's the big fella now. Coming in.
That's the one that I don't want to see in the backyard.
Oh, I got a good one for you next week with a bear walked into a house, and here they come. The whole family's here now. Now it's a picnic. Sure.
Why do you make me wait?
4 of them. Well, because I just sent it in. I got it.
Okay.
But that one's awesome. Oh, here's another one now. Here comes another one. You got 5. You got 4 cubs and
Mama Bear.
And Mama Bear in the kiddie pool back there. Nice backyard. Got the good grass. The moves were horrendous last night. Rutgers 10.5 up to 16.5. Yeah, 31 points, 3 minutes left second quarter. I don't know what happened. Well, 2 trips inside the 5-yard line that resulted in field goals as well. Akron 9.5 down to 4.5. Didn't score.
By the way, didn't score. Probably should have covered the game.
Okay. Central Florida 16.5 up to 20.5. Should have lost the game. 0-0 at halftime.
It doesn't help with a 16-hour delay.
I know. Duke 33.5 up to 37. No good. Oklahoma State 19.5 up to 27. UAB 17.5 up to 21. They were trailing in the second half. NC State, East Carolina over 56.5 up to 62. Also, no good. Want to lose some video? Watch out, Mitch. Look at the cat bringing the mouse/rat in as a gift to the owner who's in bed. My guy Jordan Scott at Mama's Pizza said he had a dog used to do this all the time.
No.
He would bring in through the doggy door, bring in animals and stuff and bring it in. Oh, my. Can you imagine? You wake up and there's a rat next to you. Look I brought you a gift. And the cat just sits down like, hey, I got your gift here.
Yeah, look what I found,
Little
buddy.
treat.
You proud of me?
Oh, God. You imagine you wake up.
What is your reaction?
Oh,
my wife would have a heart attack on the spot.
Oh, absolutely. But this is like a big thing where you talked about, hey, especially people in Texas where the dog goes out and they come in with a gift. They bring something in from outside through the doggy door, and here the cat is, hey, here's a rat for you.
Think about this. That happened one time when my dog Dexter, Lhasa Apso, weighed like 20 pounds. We got home, this is several years ago, got home. He was like over the top excited more than usual, and he kept like barking and trying to like run to the backyard. He was like getting us. He wanted to show us something. And we're like, hey, bud, what is this? What do you got?
Gotcha.
And I opened up the back door, and he went right around the corner, looked back up, he killed a bird. Somehow, little Lhasa Apso killed the bird and like was showcasing it. Hey, buddy. Hey, Dad, you proud of me? Look what I brought home for dinner tonight.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus, how the hell did you do that?
Megabucks owned a restaurant in Long Beach. And when she got the German Shepherd would bring animals to her and stuff like also as a gift. Like around the alley and all that stuff, too. And she's like, I don't want that. Get that out of here.
You have fed me my entire life. Now let me pay you back here. Here's my present to you. Let's have some dinner with the rat.
Oh, God. Right on the pillow. Right on the pillow. Hello.
Oh, that's nasty.
Bad for the books. Bowling Green, 14.5 up to 22.5. Fell 19. Louisiana Monroe, 23.5 up to 31. Fell 29. Everyone wins. Before the line moves, sharp plays already there. They don't just follow the market, they help move it. You're not going to outsmart billion-dollar books or full-time sharps on your own. With the sharp plays, you don't have to. Powered by advanced AI, plug into trusted insider sources. Sharp Plays delivers the edge serious bettors use every day. Free reports, real-time alerts, market-moving insights, and straight to your inbox or X feed. Jeff and the crew have been doing it since 2011. Documented results, public logs, transparent receipts, sharpplays.com. Trusted by pros, watched by the books. Visit sharpplays.com. Stay ahead of the line. The A's, 21-10 since July 24th. Best record in the American League. Can they keep it going tonight? What a run.
Well, I took a little slice of them for most wins in September here at Circa at 115-1.
Good price.
There was 150 at Caesars. I missed it, and it's cut in half, if not more than that by now.
Okay.
You never know. Some of these teams at the bottom,
tonight, Seager's out. Play the Rangers. It's Springs going. See if they keep it going. I like Snell and the Dodgers to beat up Gallen at home tonight as well. Castellanos hitting 400 career against Elder. Adames, 444 against Kramer. Buxton owns Cortez. Yankees, 33 home runs last 10 games.
No team's even close to them.
Nope. Tolley, the top prospect for the Red Sox, is going today. They called him up. He's going against Skeens. Hello. Welcome to the Bigs. Elder, 0-2 with an ERA of 20. 20 last three against the Phillies.
There's no chance he would be getting my money.
Yeah.
By the way, how about money on the Red Sox against Paul Skeens tonight?
Well, they're
a little
tough
bit
at home, yeah.
Trickling in, moving a couple of pennies here.
Uh-huh.
Are you tempted to take Skeens at plus money? It's like, are you tempted to take Ohio State plus a point?
Yeah, it's tough here with the rookie. You never know with the kid. Like the Mets have called up Tong as well.
I really don't want, honestly, I don't want to be betting against the Red Sox, nor do I want to be betting against the Blue Jays right now.
How about that game tonight? Peralta against Bieber. How good was Bieber?
He was great.
He was great in AAA, and he was great his first time out.
And he took a little bit of money today so far. Game doesn't have the first pitch for a couple of more hours yet. But Peralta has been phenomenal this year for the Brewers. I would need a bigger price to bet Milwaukee. In fact, it would have to be much bigger because I already bet the Blue Jays in the game.
Yeah. Are the Cubs? What are the Cubs on the run line? Horton against Marquez? 2 earned runs last 20. How good Horton's been? And the favorite to win Rookie of the Year?
The shortest shot now to win it, yeah.
I would think they would get to Marquez tonight. Break out of this, right? After that bad taste in their mouth at San Francisco.
Well, you never know. it's...
I know the Rockies have been feisty, but it's Marquez. They should be able. Horton's having a hell of a year.
No, he probably deserves to be the favorite right now to win that award. So
$1.40 run line. Okay, boy, oh boy.
Yeah, no, it's too much.
No good.
If you're going to do that, Paul, I would just lay like alternate runs. Lay 2.5, get plus money. Predict a blowout, right? Go bombs away.
Yeah.
Let's go bombs away. Big time prices here. That'd be a good idea for a segment maybe during the football season.
We'll make that happen, baby.
All right, professional sports bettor Chuck Edel on the program coming up next. He loves to bet totals in college football, but I got to be honest, we're going in fresh just like you. Find out what his best bets are for week 1 coming up next here on VSiN.